All right, so what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Colt Moncla and the one and only.
Joseph Valverde.
So super exciting. I've actually had the privilege of meeting Joseph. He runs our San Antonio market, absolutely crushing it. One of a kind leader. That's what I love about business. It's not necessarily the product and industry or the product for industry that you service, but it's how you take individuals and completely change their life. And this is what this individual does extremely well. Unbelievable leader for Ray, Lorenzo, Christian, Trey, the list goes on, and building something really special. Joseph's been with us now for about 3 months. We're going to get into a lot of details with him. It's impressive since he was with us. I think his first month did a little over 200,000 in personal sales, not including the sales of the individuals that he leads there. So a lot to go over. But Joseph, I'm excited, man. Tell me a little about yourself. Tell me, first and foremost, why roofing and why does that excite you? So we'll start before jumping into that. Just like tell a little about yourself, where you're from, what you do, and how you do it well.
Yeah, so I was born in San Angelo, Texas. It's kind of like the hill country. I was raised in probably in a town called Menard, Brady Junction. I mean, super small towns. They probably got maybe two stoplights at most, and a Dairy Queen, right?
Everyone has a
Ain't it
Dairy
funny
Queen
how all small towns have a Dairy Queen
and a Dollar General.
and a Dollar General? But moved to San Antonio, probably around sixth grade, fifth, sixth grade. Started kind of realizing the culture and the city life is just a little bit different. That kind of molded me into, I guess, who I am today. Because I have these small town morals. I've seen my grandfather have a roofing company. In those small towns. I used to be on ladders with him. They tell me a funny story where I was a kid and he just looked to the left of his shoulder and there I was on the roof and they got like freaked out, took me down. Um, so I've always been around it, but subconsciously I never knew that this was gonna be the career path that I took. So God works in mysterious ways and he put that at a young age. So I think it kind of molded me into what I'm doing now.
Absolutely. So you've also mentioned you're kind of like myself. Grandfather plays a huge, huge role in my life, and I know your grandfather does the exact same for you. Do you
Yeah.
think he's one of your motivating factors on a day to day that keeps you going? Because I know he's super proud of you, which is awesome.
100%. I think just my family in general. He tells me very frequently that how proud he is. He just wanted one of his sons or somebody that he helped raise take on the roofing because he just seen how lucrative it was. He tells me stories all the time where he's like, I pulled out $30,000 in my pocket, and back in those times,
That's a big pocket.
that's a lot of money and a big pocket.
That's a big pocket.
And so he just wanted somebody to kind of share how good it can be for you, right? And that just came from the pure intention of his heart. So, I'm extremely proud to have him in my life. Blessed, really.
100%. Yeah, it's always good to have that good role model, especially one that like shares an industry with you. My grandfather knew nothing about roofing and didn't really understand why I chose roofing, but as you know, it's just such a very unique industry where somebody who knows nothing about it can come in and with your leadership and the systems and processes and education that we implement for them,
Yep.
they can really create something special. So over 200,000, I don't remember the exact number, but sold revenue within 1 month of being a part of Cool Roofs. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what do you think it is that got you to that level? What are some things that you do and implement that for a sales rep who's a part of a company right now or someone who's in sales but not roofing, what does that look like?
When I first got started, number one, you have to have the mindset that you want to be the best. You got to be surrounded by people that are better with you, better than you. And for a long time, when I first started in roofing, I had somebody that was always better than me. And I love that because it distilled in me, like, I have to be great. So I kind of became obsessed with it. And at the end of the day, for any person who's great, you have to be obsessed with it. So I'm not kidding. This is just the start of it. Any rejection I got, I wrote it down. I would go to bed and I would be, not even kidding, thinking of homeowners telling me those rejections and me just coming up with a whole bunch of different stuff to say back to them. Like, those were literally my dreams for a while because that's all I was thinking about. And then it came to a point where I just started being me.
Yep.
And I think people not even buy from you, but go with you because you're a person.
Yep.
They don't want a robot. They don't want a salesperson. So with me being obsessed with it and then me just being a person, I mean, and me wanting to be great, those three things combined, I mean, really brings me to where I'm at, really is what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's you showing up and being you, your true self. I think there's so many self-help books out there that talks about like the hard close sell or handling objections and whatnot, but it's the understanding that, hey, this individual has an issue. You yourself have a solution that you can derive to help them in a time of need, and you're just a friendly individual who, number one, cares. They always say, like, homeowners in themselves do not care until they understand fully how much you care, and then that really bridges the gap between trust and professionalism to get the job done. So super exciting that you're able to do that. Now, I know you're a team man. Like, that's my favorite thing about you. You are not a me man, you're a team man. With that being said, you care a lot about, you love on the people that you get to help become successful. Joseph actually sent me a text one day. He said, hey, boss, I just want to let you know I apologize not for being so much so on the leaderboard. Like when you originally came in, crush it, 200,000. Like I've had a heavy focus on helping the team get on the leaderboard and really perfecting them to assure that they can have success. So what excites you about that? Like, what do you think makes you a team man overall?
Man, I see a part of myself in them, and there was a transition where my first person that became part of my team, his name was Pedro. I'll say his name was Pedro. But he was riding along with me. He was like kind of struggling, and I just was motivating him. I was just there constantly, and then this was before I was a leader, and then something just clicked in my heart, and I remember driving home, and I was like on the verge of tears, and I was like, I gotta help this guy out. Yeah. Like I have to. I just have to, and within that moment, everything flipped for me. And a lot of people that come onto my team, no one just gets into roofing. No one gets into roofing in this industry and is already in a good position. And if you were, then you did a couple of things prior that set you up for it. So that moment when my heart switched, I just wanted to do that for everybody. Anybody who came my way, if I can do it, I know they can do it. But I know it just takes a little bit of I guess you could say like a mother's love, right? Or a father's love. Like it needs it. So I don't know. I just really want to help everyone because I didn't come from the best background, and I know if I can do it, they can do it. So I just want to be the person that's there with them when they do it.
Yeah. No, and I love that. And typically, like, I do this whole podcast just off the riff. I don't have questions, but, like, this means so much to me that, like, I stayed up and was just trying to bullet point every single question on areas of your life that truly fascinate me that I think viewers definitely want to know more about. But you've been in this industry. So most people they haven't put on their roofing shoes yet. They're getting out there to best understand what the heck is this? But you've been in the industry. You saw what we were doing here at Cool Roofs. What are some of the things that you think, since you've stepped in, have set us apart from the industry as a whole, and some things that we've implemented that can not only help the newest person, but they'll help those who kind of feel lost in a world of knowing there is an immense amount of success here, but they just lack that leadership and lack other, XYZ components. So what was that like for you stepping in that really you saw different, something in the marketplace that's disrupting it? I'd love to get your opinion on that as well.
Number one, I seen that you said it best, right? There's two types of people in this world. There's people who use money to help other people, and then there's people who use people to make more money, right? And the reason that people go with the company or the culture, I guess you could say, is because they know that people actually care about them, right? So when you said that statement, and just you and I being friends for so long, I genuinely thought that you were just a person, and you were just not you, but Cool Roofs as one. And then when I got a little bit of an insight with the resources, the systems, you and Cool Roofs as one, just wanting input, that was really a game changer for me, because I never truly had that. A lot of the companies I've been around, it was the complete opposite, and that was the biggest thing for me. And I knew that if I was going to be an organization, and anybody else who followed me into an organization, they could be successful just because, one, everything that you do comes right back into the company, and you can tell. There's no how do you say it? It's clear. It's clear as day.
Yeah.
Really.
And it's that true understanding, like our mission at Cool Roofs is to develop roofing specialists who then in return develop roofing specialists. And one of the things that we just implement, it's one of my favorites, is just like the penguin finds a mate for life, here at Cool Roofs, once you work with us, you have a roofer for life. That wasn't Chat GPT either. That was like straight one day, aha, we like that. But and knowing that we're basically building an ecosystem here that can build a better day or build a better tomorrow than today for those people who really want to plug in. They're coachable. They have a high teachability index. They have a willingness to want to learn and grow, which is very important. Like most people can plug into our system, but without the effort of wanting to be more, do more, become more, you won't achieve success. But it's crazy that we basically have this rocket launch pad where we can start them, and then through their work ethic, they can really create something special. So, Cool Roofs, brand new office in San Antonio, getting launched off. Y'all are absolutely crushing it. You just finished a beautiful metal roof. You've done a ton of residential roofs. You've got Trey out there slaying commercial. I mean, makes my head spin just what really y'all are doing out there. What excites you most about having the opportunity to really own a roofing company within San Antonio?
That's a good question, because in my head, I don't own it, right? I don't even think that way. It's crazy. But in order to be able to strategically get people to use Cool Roofs as a vehicle in a specific market to make them successful is amazing. I love it because, one, I know for a fact, and I believe in my heart, they're not getting set up for failure. If they have those qualities and skills, exactly what you said, I know they can make it. I think it was we were flying in, and I remember just looking over all the suburbs and the lights and the neighborhoods and how vast it is. I was like, there's no reason why people shouldn't be successful. But there is one reason. If they don't have the correct resources and the right people with them, then I can kind of see it now.
Absolutely. And I know every single time I fly, we just got back from Salt Lake City, which was incredible. We hung out with Sam Taggart. We brought Sam Taggart in as a business coach. If you don't know Sam Taggart, he's one of the founders of Door-to-Door Experts. Guys, that was amazing.
Yeah, he was next level.
And I love when we flew home, I always like to sit on the window seat. I call it the window of opportunity, because it always motivates me seeing the lights coming in of just like how many customers are out there that can utilize a 5-star quality service, and it really excites me. But you said something very special when we were taking a video one time. We were doing some residential properties. I came up, hung out with you, and I said, hey, let's just get a video, just letting people know that we're around. And you said the one thing that excites me is, like, I grew up in this neighborhood. And for me, now having the opportunity to give back to that neighborhood and know that I'm doing stuff local is everything. So that's amazing. Tell me about some of your guys. Some of your guys have been in the industry as well. They're working with you. They're staying pretty focused. what do you see probably in the next 60, 90 days in terms of their growth, and what is it they're doing? Is it something through the National League? Tell us a little about that. But like, where do you see 60, 90 days from now, you being a leader, and where your guys are going to be?
Man, I love all those guys. Number one, I love all of them. Where I see them in about 60 days, 90 days, 5 years, whatever it may be, it's really just it's endless in the possibilities of what they become, because they're such great individuals where they're not limited on how far they can grow. It actually surprises me because they talk about, not to say that they're kids or anything, because they're very grown men and very intelligent, but it's just crazy to see as a parent. Like, when you're a parent, you see a baby and they start learning new things and they start doing new things, it kind of fascinates you. Well, it's almost the same thing in leadership too, because you teach them one thing, or you're training them, and then they're implementing their own stuff, and it works, and it's good, and you see that. It's that's what brings joy to me, but it also lets me know that, man, these guys, they can go anywhere they want. They can do anything they want to. Yeah. They have that capability. Not a lot of people have that capability, but they do. So as far as 60 days, I mean, I see them just tearing it up. I see them getting many referrals. I see them becoming just a staple in each one of their neighborhoods. They all have their side of town that they all do their thing in. But hopefully, I see them flourishing. I can't really say exactly where they're going to be at, because I truly believe that they're limitless.
Yeah, and I believe, like, whatever they have in terms of their goals, of what is it they're wanting to hit, knowing your leadership and how you're with them every single day working towards that common goal, no doubt they're going to be able not only to hit those goals, but then surpass it at a high level, especially in San Antonio. San Antonio is it is such a unique marketplace. It's one of the largest cities in the United States. Yeah. So, and is there a lot of roofing companies? Absolutely, but no one really does it like us. And I'll say that. Like, I'll stand firm on that, because we're always mastering the craft and becoming better and better every day. But here's what we found fascinating. We joked about this. When Lorenzo first called, he was like, hey, man, I've been in roofing for quite some time. However, I've never really felt like I was put on a platform towards success. Yeah. And I made a joke. I said, Lorenzo, here you're going to get 3 things from us. You're going to get a hat, you're going to get a shirt, and you're going to get a good luck with a pat on the back. And that's what you get. And it's funny, but that's what most roofing companies have to offer. And as you know, when you step into Cool Roofs, we have top-of-the-line CRM, we have systems, we have processes, we have leadership, we have education. From, we have a whole entire back end of just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours that go over roofing and how to do roofing, how to sell, how to handle objections. And then we have our alien abduction guy, which is basically a back pocket guy that does all the things that you need in order to really be a professional within this roofing space. So, like,
that's amazing, by the way.
Oh, it's incredible. But here at Coors, we truly take that individual and put them on a roadmap to success, even from the rankings. You can come in, you can be a bronze leader, silver leader, gold leader, diamond leader. You're about to break the chart. We're going to have to get a new rank with this guy. But we put people on that roadmap to success, and we also put leaders like you in a position to really lead people and have that roadmap where it's all uniform to really make it happen. Like, your whole team's definitely, we do this thing here, we go to Costa Rica every year. Yeah. We bring the whole team once they hit a certain rank, a certain amount of revenue and sales, which is not hard to obtain, especially with the amount of opportunity out there. But your whole team's going to be there. And it's going to be an absolute blast. Karaoke on the beach, that's where I'll be. But knowing what you know about the roofing industry, why do you personally think it is a phenomenal industry for those who want to have a sales career?
Well, number one, my grandfather told me this. He said, I think he's 81 now. Okay. Still sharp guy.
81 young.
He is sharp. But he told me one thing. He said, there's one thing that I've always seen go up, and that's always been in business. And he said, and it's never changed, and it's never going to change. And he said, that's roofing. Yeah. Roofing has it's always been there, and we're always going to need it. So the good thing, too, is when you're doing storm restoration work, right, the insurance companies have to adapt to pricing and labor and material of that specific market.
Yep.
So I don't want to say this. I'm kind of scared to say this, but it's almost inflation proof.
Yeah.
Right? Number two, you build a whole lot of character because you have to generate your business. There is door knocking involved, but there's nothing wrong with that because you develop as a person. Yeah. And the one person I could say that is, specifically from Lorenzo, Christian, and members of my team, they get out of their comfort zone and they learn things about themselves. Yep. They've told me multiple times. So you're only growing and you're only becoming better as a person, and you're always going to have a job. I mean, those things right there tell me everything I need to know about the roofing industry. Yep. Not to mention, the amount of money that you could make. Yep. So, man, it's an easy one.
And we call that industry security. So, like, you're in an industry that is recession-proof. You're in an industry that will always need a service because what is business at the end of the day? My dad always jokes, business is just dealing with people and their problems, which is definitely exactly what it is. But when you look at roofing, why is it such an amazing industry? And the reason why I truly believe is because when I look at business and opportunity, number one, you have to have a marketplace. Does the marketplace have a problem that you can derive a solution at a 5-star level? We can check that box. Yep. Then I look at overall, do we have a system process in place to really make a smooth transaction, delivering proper education as well as services? We have that. Yeah. Then you have leadership. Yep. You have the opportunity to bring people in and build people up. We have that. And then overall, the ability to take personal development at such a high level to help people understand that what they are today, they can be completely different tomorrow. We all have a past, 100%. We've talked about that. Everyone goes through cycles in life, but until they can find the opportunity to work on themselves and build themselves to become more valuable as an individual is everything. And we talk about this a lot. The cool thing about business is what the marketplace defines as your value then determines the reward. So how do you become more successful? It's not time. Everybody says, well, if I have more time, then I can make more money. Clock strikes midnight, you ask for more time, people think you're crazy. They're going to throw away the key and lock you away. In reality, you become more valuable. So how do you become more valuable? You simply work on yourself. You work on your craft. You master that craft. And especially in today's time, too many people are like the jack of all trades, trying to be like, they like the aspect of being in multiple businesses rather than just focusing on one business, creating immense success and becoming a master within that industry. 10 years, overnight success. So when you build San Antonio, we're already talking about different states we're opening. We're talking about different marketplaces that we're opening. Definitely exciting stuff. But as you grow, that's what just really excites me about you, is you are always working on yourself, always working with your people, always making sure that they're mastering one craft before going to the other, focusing on residential before they hit commercial, and I think that's so important because it's, beast and beauty. Like there's a lot of differences there. So let me ask you a question. Most people are like, man, that person's in roofing. He probably has a hammer. He's up there swinging, the hammer, all that. But what does the day-to-day look like for someone like yourself who's just so successful within this industry?
Man, the first thing you got to do is, even me, you got to sell yourself, right? And you kind of got to wake up and remember, okay, what are my goals? What am I doing? And that all starts from the day before. But getting up and knowing that you have to go out and work is number one. Like, you really have to have a talk with yourself. No one just gets up and is just like, oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Like, no, you got to plan that out. But I'll start by working on. You're talking about like my day or
day to day. What does it look like?
Yeah, my day to day is I kind of go over the computer, see what kind of leads I got, check my messages, check my task list that I have on what needs to be done. I'll check in with all my guys because number one, accountability is huge. And so first thing I'm doing is I'm texting my guys, hey, good morning, let's go, it's grind time. What are y'all doing? If I don't get a text message, I'm hitting them with another text message. Hey, what's going on? What y'all good? You need anything? Yeah. And then I'll ask if, what do they have on their agenda? what do they need help with so that I can make sure that they're successful, or I can just, because I'm busy, but mark some time on my calendar for them. So the biggest thing for me is just making sure that they're up. It's kind of funny. I hate to be annoying sometimes, but they're like, no, it's okay.
Yeah, get the day started right.
Yeah, but I mean,
start is how you end it.
Yeah, and the hardest players want to be coached. Yeah. The hardest, right?
100%.
And then I'll kind of go, any appointments I have, I'll make sure I'll run those out the way, kind of hit areas around that. But I mean, my day-to-day really just varies. It varies. I mean, you can't really tell, because sometimes you'll get a call, you got to go and run. Then you'll get another call from across town, you got to go over there. Then you're touching base with insurance, you're calling insurances, you're on hold for like 15 minutes. Then you got to call another insurance. So it really just depends. I can't really tell you my full day-to-day.
Yeah, every day's a new day. And that's what I like. Like, most people think there has to be this like systematic plan that's followed, because we hear all these people on YouTube and podcasts, and they're like, my day's so scheduled and perfect. I do this, and this. I think it's bullshit. Like, overall, I never know. I mean, I have a systemized day when it comes to like going to the gym, when it comes to setting my goals, when it comes to reviewing things and really properly planning for the day. Yeah. I mean, I definitely get from the day, of course. I don't just get through it. I get from it and have success with each and every day, of course, as that's what we shoot for. Yeah. But this whole philosophy of like every single day is the same day, scheduled out, blah blah blah. I could see that for someone who's just like a repetitive type of employee, but for us it's always different, because I truly believe like that's God implementing creative talent every single day and dropping some little nuggets where our creative flair goes. It's like, ooh, I didn't think of this, we need to work on this, how do we implement that? And then we go work backwards, and we're always just working on perfecting things. So
and that's why I started my answer with getting up. I have to talk to myself. I have to sell myself. I have to make sure my people are up and ready too. That's really why I laid it out in the beginning, because that's the only thing that you truly have to have as a habit in order to be successful, because I think everything else falls in line. But if you can get up with that mentality, and I think that's truly all it is. Yep. That like... And I don't know. I think it's not everybody thinks that way, but just create a habit of something.
Well, I mean, most people don't even think. That's the problem with today's society, is most people don't think. Most people rather die than think. Most people think they think, but in reality, like, our thoughts can become things. And that's why it's very important. There's a great book, As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen, and he talks about like our mind is as tending to a garden, plucking out the weeds and making sure that what we think is what is that we become. And it's such a powerful thing. I mean, what we become is based off what we think about most. And so it's always just programming the understanding of my thoughts will become things. So what am I thinking about? And taking that step back and taking those thoughts and implementing. And it's so funny. We talk about these things called like law of attraction. Law of attraction without action is nothing. Like, you're not just going to sit in a room and be like, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be successful. You're not going to get anywhere. But if you have the mentality where what Ed Milet talks about is the reticulating activation system, to where, like, for instance, if you buy a brand new white car, you typically start to see that white car everywhere, because now it's programmed in the subconscious mind. You start to pick it up. And for most people who are always like, I don't do drama, I hate negativity. Like, if someone ever starts talking negative, I'm like, I'm probably going to just take a step back. Because for those people who are always thinking negative, talking negative, they tend to attract negative. That 100%. Reticulated activation system, like if we're in a restaurant right now, this is what I love. And there's a table over here talking about positive ideas, business, opportunity, success. And there's a table over here that's talking about negativity, people, problems, politics, the world, yada, yada. Depending on what we think about most and program our subconscious mind, that reticulating activation system will either pick up on the positive because of how we influence ourselves with positive 100%. Thoughts, or it's going to pick up the negative. And so once you have that divide of difference between focusing on the good, then it'll really start attracting you towards different people you need to meet, different people you want to get in a room with. I mean, dude, once you just started posting tons of content, there's people within the roofing industry that were just messaging you
that was crazy.
Left and right. And it's cool because, man, we're a bright light within a dark industry. Any industry with low startup costs can attract any type of caliber of people. But for us, man, it's not cheap running this machine. It is very expensive, but we do it the right way, which leads to the right opportunities, which really leads to the right company to work for. So
Correct.
There's some things that we can deep dive in. I could rip up this paper because I'm really just going completely off track.
Yeah.
But there's something about you that's interesting. Most people get in this industry and they don't understand hard work. My good buddy Alex Morton once said, hard work works. Yeah. And we had some people that were within our organization that when you came in, they're like, holy S, this guy's freaking killing it. What is he doing? What's the secret sauce? What makes him different? In reality, you work hard. You do get up. You do push your guys. You do hit the field. But it's really you put in the action to create that success. So what are some ways right now within roofing that you generate opportunity for yourself and your team?
Yeah, hard work works. It really does. And then another saying that I like to say, actually I heard it from somebody. I can't really remember who told me, but he said, yeah, God can bless you, but you have to give him something to work with. And that's what you said earlier, you got to apply the action. So for me, it's just making sure I get out there. It's really not that hard. It's not hard. Just dedicate. Just try not to go home. Try not to, lay at night and not get anything accomplished. If you can accomplish one thing, just focus on getting one thing accomplished. One claim, one signing, one homeowner. Like just focus on getting one before you even go home. I promise you, it's gonna compound. You're gonna become so obsessed with getting the result that you're gonna want to go for 2. You're gonna want to go for 3, and then when you get one and you still realize that there's some daylight, you're like, oh, okay, I can get one more. I can keep going. But that I don't know where it comes from. It probably comes from my grandfather because every time I got in trouble when I was a youngin', he'd make me go roof a house.
Yeah. So
imagine getting in trouble and having to go roof a house, just you. It'd take me like a whole week to finish one, but I mean, we got it done. And so with that being said, when I was young, I was working hard already, from my dad to my grandpa to just me, just wanting things, right? So it was that compound effect of just making it normal. And once it became normal, it was kind of above average for another person, but it's my normal because I've done it for so long. So it's the same thing. Just figure out on how to get one thing done, and then just do that over time. And over time, you're going to be doing 2, 3 things, and then that's just your normal. There's no secret sauce to it.
There was one secret sauce that you did tell me that I really liked. Tell me about the enemy of yourself.
Oh, man, that guy. Yeah. I actually heard it from, it was, what's that dude's name? Andrew Tate. I have a buddy, Frankie Sheffield, and, we always just conversate and talk, and he showed me this video, and it was of Andrew Tate, and he was like, to be a better version of yourself, create this supervillain in your head that he's just this perfect guy. He's just this, he's just this, everything that you want to be, he's him.
Yep. And
you're just competing with him every day.
Yep.
So every day you're competing against this super robot, but it pushes you to do a little bit more. I think I told you, but I was about to go to bed, and I forgot to brush my teeth, and I was like, okay, I'll just brush them in the morning. And then in my head it popped up. He was like, nah, your villain just brushed his teeth.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, okay. I got up, went over there, finished it, and then I went back to bed, and I felt a little bit of accomplishment. But there's multiple examples that I could have used, but that one's just the easiest, where everyone in this, I was going to say in this room, but whoever's listening to this, you can relate to that because I know everybody does it. So
yeah, I mean, that one more door that you could hit, one more stopping that you could do for a strategic partner, that one more lift that you could do in the gym, always just having the mentality that individual that you build to be is doing everything that you're not doing. But there's something that I love about sales is people overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
I truly believe people overcomplicate sales when in reality Zig Ziglar says KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And we need to compound little wins that become big wins. There's a great book, Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. And then I like to mix that book with Ed Milet's The Power of One More. And if you just focus on doing a little bit better every single day, you'll create massive success. I have a John Maxwell coach that coaches me every single week, and we do these deep dives. And he says one of the most important factors about John Maxwell that he prides himself on that everyone overlooks. So John Maxwell gets off the stage. We don't know John Maxwell, unbelievable business coach, life coach, you name it. The dude is just broke. Tremendous amount of records when it comes to helping people become that best self, helping businesses, helping churches. Just amazing. But a lot of people who go and see him, they're like, man, he just speaks so well. Man, the content that you deliver is amazing. Man, the lifestyle that you're living is incredible. Man, the people you've helped is amazing. But the one thing that they don't compliment is consistency. And I feel like a lot of people do not get consistent with their goals. They do not get consistent with the routine towards success. They aren't compounding on a day-to-day. And that's why they're not achieving success. They overcomplicate. Like, we have some people in our organization who overcomplicate the process that is keeping them from becoming successful because they get in it rather than working on it. And so you got to keep sales simple. So with you, tell me something. You know, I know you door knock. I know you stop in. I know you do cold calling. Like, what do you find your most fulfillment in when really creating success within this industry we love called roofing?
It's I love the fulfillment that I get when I actually just accomplish my goal, or I do talk to a homeowner and it transitions into, you know, a roof getting put up. That just shows me that it works. And I'm a super simple guy. And if I see it and I do it and I see the fruits of what I'm doing, that honestly just fulfills me. Like, I'm joyful because I know I did it. And, you know, they always talk about the why and those underlying factors that push you to, you know, to have that willpower to keep going. But for me, I just know that if I can do it and I can keep proving to myself that I can do it, somebody's going to end up watching, and somebody's going to, it's going to motivate somebody. So, you know, I just always have to be that guy. Like, you know, you can't expect to take advice from somebody who's never done it.
Right. Yeah, that's what John Maxwell says. He goes, there's two types of leaders. You have your tour guide and you have your travel agent. Most people in business want to be a travel agent and tell you how to do it without them doing it themselves. Here at Cool Roofs, we pride ourselves on being tour guides. We take you, we plug you into the systems that we've built, systems that we use, and systems that we implement every single day. And it's tour guide mentality. And it's simple. There's one thing that you said that I find a lot of fulfillment in, was it's fulfillment. You know, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And I think that's what really develops you as such a great leader, because you truly find happiness in the success of other people. You said that quote earlier. Most people use people to make money. Here at Cool Roofs, we like to use money in order to properly develop and make people. Use that as an investment vehicle to help people become their best self. And there's a separation within this industry. A lot of people 100%. Like to cut corners. A lot of people like to not properly install things to save money. A lot of people like to take advantage of people to create opportunity and not properly pay them for the value that they bring. The list goes on and on and on. But that excites me because it gives us an opportunity as a company to see what everyone's doing wrong to build the perfect ecosystem of nothing but right. Is sales easy? Absolutely not. But is it better? 100%.
It was Hudson. He said, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One big bite.
And that's the biggest thing, is keeping it simple. You know, just break it down into steps. For the full day of being, you know, putting a roof up, step one, you got to talk to people. So forget everything else and just go out and talk to people, right? Step two, you got to get some type of claim started, or, you know, you have to get them that they need a roof. So inspect the roof, right? That's step two. So focus on talking to a person, and then focus on getting on the roof,
Paint the picture.
and that's it, right? And then step 3, so on. But just break it down into steps and just follow that.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Yeah, follow the steps and just get consistent with it.
Yeah.
Do it every single day. And it's crazy, the immense amount of opportunity right now within our industry if we just focus on the weather-related events. Like, we, of course, roof all year round without weather-related events, but knowing that we have them, we like to be mayors of a community. So, like, for instance, if you're working a neighborhood, you become the mayor of the neighborhood and do the whole neighborhood, you know? But I made a joke the other day, I forget who I was talking to, but the amount of storms, if we took every single city that was hit, if I just sold one roof in each of those cities, I'd have a freaking rock star a year. And that's what makes it so special. San Antonio, Austin, New Braunfels, San Marcos, up in Dallas. I mean, anywhere and everywhere, there's an ample amount of opportunity to create a lifestyle through roofing. But it's not just that. Like, white glove service to a homeowner is everything. And your job sites, man, you knock it out the park. You become a mayor in the community. And I think one thing that separates you from a lot of people is I know you have fun with this.
Oh, yeah.
I
love
know
it.
you have fun with this.
Yeah, I truly do. Even at the door, because you got to make them like you, whether it's with the joke or you're complimenting their car or something, or their dog. Like, you got to make them comfortable with you. So for me, I just, I'll make jokes, or, I kind of play around with them. And for me, I like it.
Yeah.
And then I'll get into the professional side and talk to them. But I have fun with it. I love going up on the roof too, and I see the installers, and I personally know all of them. I'll give them a fist bump, I'll give them a handshake, I'll talk to them, see if they need anything. But for me, that's just, I truly enjoy it, and I love it, especially when you get at the peak of a house and you're seeing your roof installed. You have your roofing specialist next to you, and you're looking at that horizon, you're seeing all the houses, and just knowing that out of all these people within this, mile range, right? And all the roofing companies that talk to this one person, they chose you.
Yep.
You can talk to a homeowner and they'll tell you they'll get knocked 10 times a day. Let's just say it's within a week. That's, 10 times a day, and within a 6-day work week, that's, oh my, you could do the math on that, right? That's a lot of people, and they chose to go with you.
Yep.
So that also brings me excitement. It's just crazy to me. I love it.
I know Jared was telling me, Jared's one of our studs here. Love the guy
he's-
to death. He's amazing. He's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. He's like, I was knocking the door with Joseph, and this lady came out. I've never heard someone just yell as much as she did.
Yeah, she's.
And could you believe he just turned it around so nicely, got the lady's information, and is working with her? He's like, I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, yeah, it takes a certain kind of someone to really do what you do, but we can all become that someone, which is awesome. And, I knocked doors I got in this roofing industry in 2013 or 2014, I believe it was. And I hated door knocking. And a way to get through it, I remember I'd put like 30 beans, lima beans in one pocket, and every door I knocked, I'd take a bean and put it in the other.
That's cool.
And man, I made pennies, but I thought I was getting rich as all get out, even though the compensation model that the original company had me on was absolute trash. But it didn't matter to me because I saw an industry of opportunity that I can excel in. And so, I mean, it's changed my life. I think it's one of the most unique industries because you said it best. It is recession-proof. It is a relationship-driven business. It's a value-driven business.
Oh, yeah.
Brand awareness is everything, not only for the company, but your personal brand.
Yeah.
And so I know one of the big steps that we're taking here at Cool Roofs is really becoming that foundational company that can properly educate people. Educate them not only on the personal side, such as integrity, authenticity, how to carry yourself, handle objections, but more on the educational side of like actually understanding roofing.
Yeah.
Because do you agree there is somewhat of like a disconnect within the industry? Most people focus on it because of the opportunity as far as commissions.
Yeah.
But they don't focus on really mastering the craft of knowing everything.
Yeah. Well, mastering the craft and being a true professional, right? I'm sure I can go to many reps and they probably don't know anything about roofing. You know, not here at Cool Roofs because we're certified and we have the proper training. But a lot of people just don't even understand the industry.
Yeah.
And that's how you become a professional, and that's why people go with you, and that's how you can separate yourself from, 100 different guys that are coming through the door every day.
Yeah.
And with that knowledge, you can almost change the industry because now you're a new standard, right? Now they know, okay, we can't even go out and compete with Colt Moncla at the doors because, number one, we're not even up to that standard, and we hear everything he's doing. So in turn, they're going to try to get better. And if they try to get better and they find things that work, we're going to do the same thing. So there's a whole bigger picture to it.
There is. And we have to wrap up. But before we wrap up, I want to hear your input real quick. So we're doing this thing called the National League. It's a door-to-door competition. And each week, it's this huge bracket. And each week, we challenge a new team who's also door knocking and getting sales. And it's a point-by-point system. So it's not just Cool Roofs. It's all these other companies we're competing with. Mm-hmm. And you actually just like whoop some capital A $sign ass last week, you and your team.
Yeah.
What is this? What is it like? Like, how fun is that, gamifying the fact that we're not only competing within our company, having fun, really going up our ranking systems and people achieving great things, but now we're competing with people across the nation, and I believe Canada. We gotta whoop Canada.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's better than this country. Texas is winning.
Yeah.
Then we're whooping the U.S. and then we're whooping Canada.
We have to. Yeah, we
Stomp
have to.
them. Yeah, I'm kidding. But what is that like? How fun is that? Gamifying the fact that we're playing people nationwide, and we're kicking some butt.
It's it definitely opens my perspective on kind of the level that we're at or the level that we can achieve. I mean, it's cool. It's super awesome because now we're on a platform. Now we're on a stage. Now we are competing against a whole bunch of people. And just to know that we made round one, not just made it, but smoked it.
What was the overall score?
I think it was like 18 points or something, 20 something around there. I'm not too sure.
What did they have?
Some of them had like 11. Some of them had like 9.
Oh,
yeah, so
man, not even double digits.
Yeah,
stay home.
Some of them had some double digits.
Stay home. We're coming to sell you a roof.
But it's cool, and just to see that the guys can do it, and I think they didn't even truly believe that they could do it, right? But it was literally just the waking up. Hey, what are you doing? Let's get this done. We got to get a point. Like, we just have to do that. It just compounded into us winning that first round. So, I'm excited, but more importantly, I'm just really focused on getting them to win.
Yep.
That's really what I care about. I could try to take the W. That's fine, collectively. But I just want to see them win. I just want to see people win. I want to see Cool Roofs on the map.
Yep.
I want to get us on a podium, alongside your help and Hudson's in Austin, which they're killing it too. So just us as a group together, helping the guys succeed. That's all I really want.
I love that.
Yeah, I know you probably wanted a better answer or a more aggressive answer.
I loved it. I know. I mean, the overall aspect of what is that we do is Zig Ziglar says it best. Because if you just help enough people get what they want, you can have whatever you desire.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, find yourself a leader who really puts you in a place to win. Within any industry, It's huge. I mean, the lack of leadership is so intense, not only just in our industry, but so many, having the ability for someone to commit. I love that text in the morning. You send that with permission. And I say that is the way that we like to lead our people is understand their goals and understand what they're trying to accomplish, and then get permission to hold them accountable. Yep. And that's huge. Holding them accountable, it's like, hey, man, you might hate me during the week, but you're going to love me on payday.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
It. And your wife's going to love us too. I'm kidding. But that's it. I mean, it's like, take the week to get from it and not just do it. Yep. We have like a wandering generation right now who doesn't know what they want, left, right, up, down, sideways, whatever. They just see problems in everything and negative. Like, I love how, like, when we were walking through the store the other day, I said, man, I love just like listening to people who are working at like grocery stores and different things. And I promise you, every time I walk up on it, they're having a negative conversation, talking about someone, talking about the schedule, talking about this. When in reality, like, why do that? Take a step back, change your life. Like, find a vehicle, find a cool roofs, find a company that puts you in a place to become better tomorrow than you were today.
Yeah.
And I see, the last thing I'll say is people get in sales. They're like, man, I want to make all this money. A lot of work goes into it. And it's not the work of the day-to-day. That's easy. That's consistent. The hard work is on yourself.
Yep.
Having the opportunity to cultivate the proper mindset, to break through the barriers that you're not used to, doing something different that takes you from being comfortable to uncomfortable. But then later on, because of the hard work of being uncomfortable, it's putting you and your family in a comfortable position.
Oof.
That's how I look at it.
I would have got tongue twisted on that one.
Well, I'm chewing gum. It helps. But the reality is, overall, man, I've done this thing for a decade.
Yeah.
And I've worked with some unbelievable people. We've built a world-class company that hopefully will be worldwide one day. Who knows? But having the opportunity to work alongside you and really obtain the proper goals and the direction that we work on every single day together is, it's like, I don't have words for gratitude of what I have, having the ability to work with you. It's been a dream. It's a dream come true. What you're building in San Antonio is freaking lights out. The people love you, not only your customers, but the people that you lead every day. It's super special. So, one-of-a-kind individual here. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you enjoyed the nuggets that he's had to deliver. And, you know, outside, anyone in the industry that's just looking for great leadership, looking just for great nuggets and education, follow this guy on Instagram. We'll put his little tagline. I'll have Trey do that. I don't know how to do that, but Trey will put it on there. And you'll follow us. But with that being said, man, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Love you. Before we tag out, do you have one last thing you want to tell the people?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in Texas, just give us a Google. Hit us up. Pick our brain. That's one thing that I learned from Colt and at Cool Roofs is we love to add value to people's lives. So if you just have anything on your mind and want to get in contact, reach out to us.
Come on.